Hello, my lovely friends. Sophie and I would like to welcome you back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing really great. Sophie is a little bit bored because it was super cold today and we couldn't go outside. But in today's video, we would like to share with you some of the progress that we've made in the altered book journal that we created two weeks ago, I think, something like that. And I've got some stuff in here and I've had a lot of fun with this. So stick around because I'm going to show you what I've got. Sophie's going to show you her tail. This has turned out to be a lot more fun than I anticipated, even though I knew it was going to be fun. This has been, how should we say, a completely different journaling experience, if you will, for me, in the sense that I'm liking the idea that this is very little pressure. It's sort of throw a few things in there to remember what happened that day. And yeah, it's just that simple. Alrighty, Rue, my fabulous friends. Now, today is May the 1st, and we started this journal on April the 14th. And like I said, I went through and just as a quick little recap, I painted the pages. I didn't have anything particular in mind. It was just, you know, a day of paint, having fun, just getting some color in here and giving me basically a jumping off point to start with. And the idea is that this is going to be the journal that I work in until beginning middle of August. And then I'm going to get right into making my autumn Halloween journal. So I have to say, I enjoyed this in ways that I wasn't anticipating, which is always good, right? Not that I didn't think I would like it. I knew I would, but I think that part of what I like about doing this is that there's just no pressure. And I know that we shouldn't put pressure on ourselves to create journal pages, but let's be honest, sometimes we do. We get a little, you know, frustrated if things don't go the way we want them to, or the way we envision that we think they should go, right? And so this has literally just been a way for me to do 3 things. One, document the day, and on whatever level that means, whether it's something that happened, something I purchased, just an idea, a thought, just document one thing that happened that day. Use more of what I have, meaning go through my drawers, get out old stickers, get out old die cuts, things that I've been saving forever, and give them a good home. And what was the third thing? I guess basically just document for the pure enjoyment and fun of documenting without having to think, does this layer right? Does this go right? Do these colors go right? Like, of course, you know, you can tell I've been thinking about greens and pinks and putting things together. But with these pages, I'm not so concerned about how things come together. I'm more concerned about, you know, what happened that day and what is it about that day that I want to remember. Again, with no pressure. Right? It's just like something quick, doesn't have to take forever. Some pages I've spent longer on than others because I was in the mood to do so. Okay, so right at the very beginning, I just did a couple of collage that just sort of things that had happened around the time that I started this journal. And I just wanted to document it. And when I did them on this particular day, I was just in the mood to do a little bit of collage. And it was a lot of fun. So I put in this image of these battery, they're battery operated tea lights, but they are, what do you call them? Rechargeable. And I'm a huge sucker for battery operated candles, let me tell you. It's a bit ridiculous how many of them I have, but I go through a ton of batteries, of course. And I was looking on Amazon and I saw this set, and the clincher for me was that they came with a remote. I was like, ooh, it comes with a remote. I'm in. I'm sold. They were more than money than I wanted to spend. But when I did the math about how many batteries I didn't have to buy in the next 6 months, I figured I was golden, that everything was going to pay for itself. So that's to document the brand new batteries. Hello again, Sophie. And yeah, it's just, you know, a cute little pink bird for springtime. The fish is to remind me to go with the flow. If you guys have watched some of my other videos about symbolism and that kind of thing, I really like to put fish in my journals as just a reminder that, again, just be fluid. Try not to get stuck. Try not to be rigid. Which is really hard for me. I hate to admit it, but I can be a little bit stuck in my ways. So the fish is here sort of at the middle of the month, reminding me, hey, Lisa, you know, when things get tough and when things get, you know, when you're struggling with whatever it is you're struggling with, try and remember to go with the flow, be like the fishes. I love this quote. The purpose of art is washing the dust of daily life off our souls. Oh, that's so perfect. I love this. I love this. And then on this side, this was an image that I had found, and it really spoke to me because you can see here, she's, you know, a little bit above the earth, a little bit into the earth. She's got these roots. She's really dug in. Like she's in there. She's rooted. But she's trying to grow, and she's trying to move, and she's trying to wiggle and expand. And this is kind of how I've been feeling about a lot of things lately. It's like I like where I am. I like the roots that I've put down. I like that I am fairly grounded in a lot of things, but I've also been recognizing that, again, I've been static. I've been a little bit stuck, and maybe it's time to change some new things or just try things in a different way, you know, problem solve things differently, you know, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And so I really resonated with this image because you can see the struggle here. Like she likes where she is, and yet she's looking up towards something else. And anyways, I felt this big time. So again, this was just sort of helping me to set, you know, part of the vibe for April, to remind myself when I look at this that to be open to new ways, to be open to trying different ways of problem solving, and once again, to go with the flow. We'll talk about this again. I'll give you a report. And then this is another quote that I love. It's better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation. And I've always loved that. And then, yeah, just birds and flowers and, you know, nice golden tones for springtime and growth and all of that kind of stuff, right? So here we have, hopefully, can you sort of see? This is Sophie on the couch. And I walked by the one day and she was just so cute and comfy and relaxed, cuddled up there in our blanket there. And so I decided that was going to be the photo for the day, for the 16th. And then I found this quote from Pinterest, "You make the world a better place." And I was like, you know what? Sophie does make the world a better place. So that was April the 16th. And I put 4.5 there because obviously we were halfway through the month of April. Right? And it was a Thursday. And then, yeah, just this, I love the idea of just putting in the photo, getting out some other stuff that I've had, and just making a little collage and, you know, being happy about it. Here in the middle, where I had torn out some of the pages, I'm going to do this quite frequently throughout this book, but this is, again, to remind me that it is the year of the horse. And sort of this is a little bit of a visual about how things are going so far. I feel like I'm falling off my horse already. And not only am I falling off my horse, but I'm not being very graceful about the whole thing. But anyways, everything's fine. So I just put tickety boo down there, you know, like just keep going, sister. Don't give up, don't look back, just keep going. And then in the interest of using up, you know, in this book, I hope to use up some of the many, 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 many stickers that I have. I just put that little cutie patootie there because I thought it was super cute. So then on April the 17th, I needed to take my dad to a doctor's appointment. He needed to go and have a routine check done on his heart where they wanted him to wear a heart monitor for 48 hours. So we went over to the place where they told him to go, and they're like, oh no, this isn't where you need to go. You need to go to our other office that's outside of the city about 20 minutes. Do you think you could get there before 4 o'clock? And I was like, well, we can definitely try. So this was a photo of the note that my dad had taken that he'd put on the fridge. And then this is just, I found this, I Googled this image of a white car speeding. And so this is me and my dad in my little white car zooming over to the other office where we were supposed to go and get his heart monitor. So that's my dad there. And then of course, that's me paying for parking that we didn't need because we were at the wrong office. Anyways, it was quite an adventure. We had fun. And everything's fine with my dad's heart. Everything came back fine. And so that's good news. So that happened on April the 17th. So I thought that was kind of fun. Just a fun way to remember the chaos that was Friday, April the 17th. And then on the Saturday, I started to work on a video for my Halloween channel. And that was on Saturday, the 18th. And so part of what is going to be in this video, part of the storyline, were many things. But one is going to be about a lady who rides an ostrich. And then the other is about a magician's assistant who's cut in half, right? That old trick where they would cut the lady in half. And so I had gone on the internet to find some vintage images of this magic trick to put in the video, and this cartoon came up. And so I was like, this is perfect for my page. Just to remind me again of where I was, what I was doing, what was going on that day. You know, I remember seeing this as a kid and just being like, oh my God, what are they doing to that poor lady? So then again, I've been digging out many old stickers, and I was thinking I might do something like this. Don't know, haven't decided yet. And then over on this page, we've got on Sunday, the 19th, I bought myself some bananas. And not that that is an earth-shattering experience or anything at all, but I've been off bananas for quite a long time, which is sort of a long story. My doctor had a meltdown when I had my physical last year. She couldn't believe that I would eat a whole banana because of the sugar in it. And then we had this sort of debate about bananas and potassium and bananas and sugar. And I don't know. Anyways, she convinced me to go off bananas for a while. But I decided around the 19th of April that I missed bananas. And so I was a rebel and I went and bought myself some bananas, which it kind of made me laugh a little bit. But anyways. And then I got some Happy Mail from my friend Anna in Portugal. And she had this sticker on the envelope. And these are the stamps from the envelope. So I put those in there to document the 19th. And then here, there's a tab, and this is, I got myself a new phone holder for my car, one of those ones that attaches into the vent. So I just decided to cut out part of the little image off the box, and that was the tab. for that day. So that's what I mean. Like, I've just been having sort of fun just using little tiny bits and pieces of things that are coming into my environment, my day. Like I said, I've been taking quite a few pictures because I like to do that. I like to print all kinds of pictures off. If that's not your jam, like if you'd rather just work with junk or whatever, that's fine. You don't have to do the photos. For me, it's just a very helpful way to remember what happened, etc., that day, right? Because I always say the biggest lie I always tell myself is I'm going to remember. I'm going to remember what happened today. And then I'm like, no, I didn't. I totally do not remember, which is kind of scary, but I don't remember. Okay, so on this page, again, I'd found these large rose stickers. I don't even remember where I got them, but I was playing with it, and I kind of like the idea of Felix the cat sort of in behind this giant rose sticker here. So one day, I just wanted to do a quick little collage, and of course, 4, once again, for the month of April. And at this time, I was still dealing with a cough. I thought my cough had gone away that I had with the cold and the whole thing. It did, but then it came back again. So this lovely little Ricola was just a reminder that I needed the cough drops again. So yeah, just a collage. I got some washi tape here. Just some bits and pieces that I pulled out of my, my little drawer here with all the stuff in it. And all these little bits and pieces that I've been keeping forever that need a good home. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. This was good. This came out really cute. And then on the 20th, I had to take my dad back to the place where we Zoomed to on the Friday because we had to return the heart monitor. So I drove him out there. And then after we dropped the stuff off, we went to Harvey's and had lunch. So that's just the receipt from our afternoon together. And then I just went in again and added just a few things to jazz it up a little bit. I found this online, and I thought the $20 bill would be kind of a fun way to mark April the 20th. And then on this side, we've got, so that was Monday. This was Tuesday. Tuesday, the 21st, the girls got their NexGard medicine to go on the back of their neck to keep them safe while they're outside. And my throat was hurting, so again, I got out my fennel tea, and I drank copious amounts of fennel tea that day. And I opened up a new tube of one of my favorite incense, Palo Santo. And so I just opened up the package for the old one, glued it in there, just for something fun to do. I actually quite like how this page turned out. Here's a quick little photo of the tulips in our front garden. Again, just to remember the day. And then, of course, 4, as you know, is for April. So again, this is just, for me, this is just a great way to use up some junk. Traditionally, I wouldn't say I don't use as much junk in my junk journal as a lot of other people do. I tend to lean more into Happy Mail, things that I've printed off, digitals. And so one of the things that I did want to do with this particular altered book journal was just have a little bit more fun and challenge myself to use more of the actual junk that, again, comes across my desk in a day. And then Wednesday, the 22nd, was the first day that the girls went outside, and they had an absolutely lovely day sitting on the back porch, enjoying the sunshine. These are not the greatest photos in the world, but you know what? Again, it's just to mark the day and to use up some of the stickers. Yeah, they did. They had a lovely day sleeping on the back porch. Then Thursday, the 23rd, again, Thursdays are the day I go see my dad. So these were some of the houses that we looked at online that were for sale. This was the image from Pinterest that was the inspiration for me to make my last video about the cute little pads of paper using scraps and my rubber stamps. So again, just, you know, I just wanted to remind myself that was the day that I saw that. And my time with my dad that day, use up some stickers, put a bit of little lace there, jazz it up a little bit. So everything on Thursday was going fine. And then I woke up Friday and I was like, oh my God, this cold or flu or whatever it is has come back with a vengeance. And I spent the day just feeling really, really poorly. And so I had gone through copious amounts of Ricola. These cough drops were like nonstop being popped to try and stop the coughing. Oh my God, it was terrible. Anyways, Milos often brings back this cup of soup from Prague. There's nothing like it. I absolutely love it. I had 2 packages left. And so it was an emergency situation. So I dug out one of the packages of the chicken noodle soup. And then I just cut out the image from the package and parts of the package and then glued it all in there as a memory of on Friday the 24th was not a good day. As far as feeling like a regular human being goes. Oh my God, I coughed and I coughed and I coughed. I had a huge headache. This was the only thing notable about the day, I have to say, were the cough drops in the soup. But what are you going to do, right? And then on the Saturday, the 25th, I decided to... I went outside and I got a little photo of some of the lily of the valley that's just starting to bud. They haven't opened yet. This is almost a week ago. But I wanted to capture them just sort of at that beginning stage. Lily of the Valley is my all-time favorite flower, so I wanted to get a picture of it just before it opened. And then here are a couple photos from the video that I did about the little notebooks, and I put the video up on April the 25th, the Saturday. So those went in there, and then I still wasn't feeling great, and I didn't really have much of an appetite, so I got out my Annie's mac and cheese. That was my comfort food for that day. And so again, I cut out part of the package because it's super cute with the little bunnies and their little bunny tails there. And then I just put the Annie's. I cut out part of the box and just used it for a bit of a tab there. And here's Pooh Bear looking at his big tummy. And again, this is just a reminder for me to breathe and exhale and do my belly breathing, which I'm supposed to do, which I never do, and I'm I'm so bad. But whenever I do it, excuse me, this is what I think I look like when I'm breathing out and I'm pushing my belly out, trying to relax. I'm a clencher of the stomach, I have to say. When I'm tense, the first thing I clench is my stomach, and so I have to try and make a real concerted effort to let go. And they say, you know, just relax your stomach. It doesn't matter if it sticks out a little bit. Just relax and breathe out. And whenever I do that, this is not only how I feel, but this is how I think I look. So I have to laugh in spite of myself. Breathe and release. Lisa, breathe and release. Even if you do look like this, it's fine. It's fine. Anyhow, and here's that Ricola cough drop package that just keeps on giving. I still have a teeny tiny little bit of it left. We're going to use some of it in here today. But anyways, they have such nice graphics on it. It makes a cute little tab. So that's that there. And then this I thought was really sweet. I found this on Facebook. And it says, there's neuroscience evidence that looking at beautiful things, especially plants, and pausing to take in the details can alleviate stress and lift mood. Found these in my garden just now. They're in a pale blue Victorian ink bottle. Pause to give your brain a small rest. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet and so pretty and so true, right? Like, there's no question that looking at beautiful things, especially nature, is good for us. It's good for our brains. It's good for our nervous system. It's just good, period. And so I thought it would be fun not only to put this in here because it's pretty, but again, as a reminder that when I'm feeling stressed and I'm, freaking out, to come back to this as a little gentle reminder, sort of to help me get grounded again and to, generally try and go with the flow, right? Okay, so that was Saturday. Sunday, again, I was working on a photo album for my Halloween channel, and I had decided that I needed to make a cover for it as opposed to using a book. So that's what I did on this day, and it was a great thing to do because I still wasn't feeling great, but it was productive and it was fun and I had a really good time. And so that was Sunday, and I got something from Amazon that day. I don't remember what it was, but the purple tag was on the box, and I was like, ooh, that matches perfectly. So the tag off the Amazon box, or the sticker off the Amazon box, went in. And so that, and A, of course, I had to laugh. A for April. And then on Monday, the 27th, I took a photo of our lilacs. And I got a letter from my friend Stephanie, and these kitties were a sticker that she had put on the envelope. So I very carefully peeled those off. And I like how everything's pink and green on this page. Again, this is from that photo album that I was working on for my Halloween channel. I did a little bit of that afternoon, so I wanted to put that in there to remind me of my progress. And then here, also on the 27th, it was a big day, so I dedicated 2 pages. A friend of mine who is a lovely, lovely, lovely soul and a very generous human being sent me a beautiful journal that he had made for me for my birthday. And so it arrived on the Monday, the 27th. So I cut a bunch of stuff off the box and I saved where he had put his return address, and I put stickers over it. But in order to obviously save for privacy reasons, I've covered up part of the label. So this was a great little memento. Again, using the junk that we have. I do really like taking stuff off of boxes and off of letters and using them in my journal as part of the, the junk, like I said, that comes across the desk. And then today, on the 27th, I decided to revisit all of the digitals that I have in my Etsy shop and to tidy up those listings, put things on sale and all of that kind of stuff. And to make a decision that I'm going to be going back into making more digitals and putting them on my website and that kind of thing. So I just wanted to document that. So that is Monday the 27th. And then that brings us to the 28th of April. This is going to be the 29th. And then we're going to do very quickly, I'm going to finish up these pages with you. And then that's going to be it for April. Today, like I said, is May the 1st. So I'm kind of excited. We've got like I said, we got all of April in, and I didn't miss a day. So I have to say, I'm very pleased with myself. And then on April the 28th, I won't go into too much detail, but somebody whose name that rhymes with Sprucey, Lucy, brought a teeny tiny little animal into the house on Tuesday the 28th, and I had to spend an enormous amount of time rescuing and getting this animal back outside. Everybody was fine. Nobody was hurt. A little bit stressed. Everything had a happy ending. It was fine, but I was not happy, and it was a challenge. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to revisit it. Oh, it's quite stressful for me. Anyhow. Okay, so here we have hopefully the last of the Ricola the cough drops. I just couldn't throw the bag away. I love the green and the yellow and then the peppermint. Like these graphics are really nice. I quite like it. So I just got some of my art glitter glue here and I glued it onto the page. I find with these packages that have sort of the plasticky film coating on the back, they don't really like the glue stick very much. The art glitter glue definitely works a lot better. So I have a few things that I want to put on for the 29th here already. I got this lovely zipper case and this postcard from my friend Anna in Portugal. It was a really nice surprise. And so I took a picture of it, of course, and then I want to put it in there. And I want to be able to see that tiny little bit of the red, because then I think I'm going to put the 29 here, and I kind of like the idea that we've got the reds. Even though I said earlier, I'm trying not to be too much matchy-matchy and reds going with reds and all of the things and the things. I did kind of like that. I went and picked up our taxes, ooh, which is always fun. So here in Canada, if you owe, you have to pay by the 30th of April. So I called our accountant and I was like, we've got 24 hours. Do you think we could, tidy this thing up a little bit? He's like, oh yeah, come on over. Anyways, so that's going to be the 29th of April. So yeah, I hope that this will inspire or encourage you to create your own, if not an altered book, some sort of other little journal maybe, where you just do a light recording of the day, so to speak. I mean, I'm somebody who likes to get out all the stuff. I like to dig out and make a big production about journaling and what I'm using and the stamps and the stencils and all the stuff. But the problem is, you don't always have that kind of time. And then what happens is I find that I will I'll journal, but I have like a whole heap. And I do mean a heap of things that I'm trying to figure out how to put in. Which if I'm in the mood for that, that's fine. But the one thing about this that I have been very pleasantly surprised about is the fact that I'm not in any way, I don't want to say stressed out, because that's not what I mean to say. But I don't find it to be something that I'm like, oh, I better hurry up and go and do this day, or I better hurry up and do, you know what I mean? Like, it's more like, oh, I'm just going to, I'm looking forward to getting creative and using just a few supplies, digging out a few old things that I haven't used in a while, whether, again, it's digging out old stickers or whatever it is. And then just being like, okay, that's it. I'm just going to put in a few photos. I put in the date. This was Wednesday. Do I have oh yes, I was going to use this. I was going to put this here. So this ticks off a lot of boxes for me. I'm using up stuff that I already have. I am, again, being a little bit different with how I'm doing this by using more junk, traditional junk, like this kind of thing than I normally would. Yes, I'm using digitals, but I'm not actively going into and looking for new digitals. I'm using digitals that I already have cut out, or that I already have in a binder somewhere, or like I said before, like in my drawer, where I already have stuff cut out, things that I've printed out a long time ago, or whatever it is, right? I mean, I'm just as bad as anybody else. I love to go out and look for supplies, buy new supplies, but I really am trying to make a point of using what's already in here, what's already cut, what's already been printed, that kind of thing. Okay, so now, this was Thursday. This was yesterday with my dad. So once again, I've got the list of houses that he found when he was driving around that we were going to look up. So I wanted to put that in the middle. And then I've got, it's been quite rainy here, and I found this in an envelope of things that I had printed out at the beginning of the month. And so I was like, well, let's get it used up. And it matches the colors. The blue is perfect. And then I've got Thursday. And then I've got 30th here. Hang on, where's my... And then the other thing that I wanted to put in, just again as a sort of little reminder of the day, I found this show, this one episode called Young Hyacinth. And if you are a fan of Keeping Up Appearances, you'll know who I'm talking about. And it was this prequel that they did of Hyacinth and her sisters when they were really young. I think she's supposed to be like 20, 22 here. And the woman that portrays Hyacinth does an amazing job. It's so funny. Anyways, I found it on BritBox, and so I told my dad about it yesterday, and I got it set up for him on the TV before I left. And I wanted him to watch it because I knew that he would get a big kick out of it, because he used to watch Keeping Up Appearances all the time. So I thought, again, just one of those, just one of those sweet little memory things. And I think that's going to be the page. Easy, easy, easy peasy. Okay, let me glue this. Sometimes I feel like I kind of get ahead of myself as far as, I have all these big ideas. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And the fact of the matter is, I just don't always have the time. Because can I still? Yes, the beauty of the glue stick. I have time to pull it down. There we go. That's better. Right? Because I think I'm going to have time to do all the things that I say I want to do. And especially now, with it being summer's coming, and there's just so many other things to do outside. There's just other places to go, people to see, things to do, and your time, your time and your resources in the summer are very, very different, for obvious reasons, in the fall and winter. And so I liked this idea too, so that I could come in, do something quick, scratch that creative itch, do the memory keeping, but not have reasonable expectations about what I'm going to be able to achieve each day. Even if I don't do it that day, I'll come in and just put something in the pages, and then maybe I do one or two pages in one afternoon. But yeah, I'm really glad I started this. I highly, highly recommend, especially if, like I said earlier, if you're looking for something that's just a little bit different, and you're kind of maybe in a bit of a journal slump, but you still want to use up some of your junk, you still want to have fun with paint, do a little collage, this is perfect. Okay, so that is April. Thank you, April, for the memories. Right? Okay, so now we've got, on this side, we're going to do May. In the interest of keeping things going a little bit, just keeping things flowing here. Again, Lily of the Valley, my absolute favorite flower. And then lilacs are a close second, I have to say. It's the smell. And the Lily of the Valley reminds me of my granny. She had them growing everywhere at her house. And I mean everywhere. And she constantly had little bouquets of Lily of the Valley on her kitchen table or on a windowsill. And in the springtime, her house always smelled like Lily of the Valley. And there's nothing like it. It's absolutely beautiful. And so I wanted to start the month with my favorite flower. And we got some glitter here, some glittery letters. You guys know how much I love glitter. Surprise, surprise, who knew? If you had asked me 2 years ago if I was into glitter, I would have been like, oh, no. I would have been a bit of a snob about it. Oh, no, glitter? No, glitter's not for me. And then I found those glue sticks, those Elmer glue sticks. It changed everything. So this is kind of what I had in mind. Hang on here. There we go. Oh no, let's put this one up here because I like the not that it really matters, but hello. I like the blue on the pink. So then do we put the stars? Yeah, there we go. I like that. And I have this here. I found this. Oops. This I got a chuckle out of. May is my birthday month, so I'll be happily accepting gifts, food, drinks, and money all month long. Oh, I had to laugh. I was like, well, May is my birthday month. May 26th is my big day. And my dad's birthday is the day after mine, so it's a little bit extra special. There we go. Okay, let's glue that down. Or actually, this is sticker paper, so I'm just going to stick this in. This was, you can sort of see over here, this was bright, bright yellow. But for whatever reason, when I was putting the green May, the sparkly May, it just didn't stand out very well. And then I decided I wanted green and pink. I did the collage instead of having the yellow paint. Okay, now speaking of glitter, let me get out my little Elmer's Color and Glitz. These little glitter glue sticks changed everything for me. Just like that. It's gone from boring and plain to magical and sparkly. Look at that. Woo. Such a small thing, but very effective. Okay, so let me just, I am going to put this Friday down here. So my lovely friends, thank you. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for hanging out and spending this time with me. And listening to me babble on about fish and flow and big tummies that expand greatly when you do your breathing exercises, or when you finally get around to doing the breathing exercises that you're supposed to do. You know, the other thing that I was thinking, if you didn't have something, like I said, I've, you know, printing out photos and printing out things like this to remind myself. If you were somebody who is big on sticky notes and Post-it notes, it would be kind of a fun thing to do as well. If you just wrote down on a Post-it note or a sticky note something that happened that day that you wanted to remember, right? And then it would literally be just as simple as putting that sticky note in the middle and then just getting out some stickers maybe, or doing a little bit of collage around it. And then bing, bang, booey, you've got a page done, and, you know, you've done some memory keeping that didn't require a whole lot of effort. Because there's those, like I said, there's those days where you want to do the memory keeping, where you want to really get knee deep in all of it. And then there's some days where you're just like, I just want to do a tiny little bit. So I will take this time to do the obligatory, if you like this video, please do give it a little thumbs up. I really, really do appreciate it. And I know everybody says it, and I know it sounds like a cliche, but it really does help a lot. You don't have to subscribe necessarily in the sense that subscribing doesn't do what it used to do, but even just liking the video actually does make a really big difference, because it's a really good indicator to the YouTube algorithm, what you like, and the fact that you liked what I put out there. I mean, it's a whole thing, the way it works. But suffice to say, liking the video does make a huge difference, and I really do appreciate it. And I always appreciate your time, and you guys know how much I love hanging out with you and chatting away about silly things. Gluing paper to paper. There we go. Hello, May. Hello, May. I'm glad you're here. I'm very much looking forward to Lilac and Lily of the Valley season, let me tell you. Okay, that's it. There you have it, everybody. That is the update of the Altered Book Springtime Junk Journal. So I've basically allowed myself a page a day. So this hypothetically should get us through the rest of the summer, no problem. I'm really excited to see how this is going to unfold and how it's all going to turn out and where this is going to take me. There you go. There's a little close-up of the glitter. I just got the Almer's glue sticks on Amazon. I highly recommend. They're not very much money. I think they come in like a set of 6 and they were like $11 or $9 or something. So anyhow, one last quick thing before we go. I wanted to let you know, because I had mentioned earlier back here on what day was it? Oh yes, the 27th, because I'm just that organized. I am going to be putting out more digitals in the coming days. And I did want to mention that I have a ton of writing paper digitals currently on my Etsy shop. And I will leave the link. I have rented lips today. I will leave the link down below to these. Each set is a set of 4. And you just print it off on regular 8x10 paper. And everything is 25% off right now. And there's bunnies, there's cute snail mail. And we've got some collage, some vintage collage, which I absolutely love. We've got some witches. It's halfway to Halloween for all you Halloween fans out there. We've got kitty and fox friends. We've got some really nice woodland creatures. There's a fox. Anyhow, there's a ton on my Etsy shop. So if you're somebody who likes to do writing and pen pals and send letters back and forth, some of this writing paper might be for you. So like I said, I will leave this in the link or in the description box down below. Go have a look. Yeah, we got some vintage fashion. Cutie patootie deers. Some more fox and owls, of course. You guys know how much I love fox and owls. Okay, that's it, everybody. I will leave it there. Thank you for watching. Go make yourself an altered book journal and glue some paper to paper and have a great time. And until the next video, speak kindly to yourselves. Enjoy your journal gluing, painting process. And until the next video, take care, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye. Hey, Soph, do you want to say goodbye to everybody? Yeah? Would you just like to say thanks for coming? It's good to see you. And, yeah, we had fun. We did, didn't we? And now, do you want to sit on my lap for a little bit? Yeah. Watch the scissors. They're they're not that sharp, but they're pointy. Yeah, gotta be careful. Safety first. Yeah. Okay. Say see you later, everybody. Bye.